Okay, I hope you are able to see my screen. Can I get yes or no? Okay then. Right. So we are discussing about collection framework, and we have completed many classes. And today we are going to discuss about, okay, this asset is completed, linked asset is also completed, sorted set is completed. Now we will discuss the navigable set in a deep manner. Okay. So what is a navigable set? So by looking at this, I can write 3 points, right? So navigable set is an interface. So we have already made some points yesterday, right? So it is an interface which is a child interface to sorted set interface. If you know what is this, and you need to remember this point, guys. It was introduced in JDK 6 version, right? And since it is a child interface to sorted set, what does it really mean? So it has all the features. It has all the features of sorted set, as well as it has some specific features that is limited to navigable set. Okay, so these 3 points are something related to navigable set, right? And the 4th point, 5th point, 6th point, and all these points are common to navigable set, sorted set, and tree set, right? So it follows the sorting order. We know why it is following sorting order, and it will not follow insertion order. Insertion order is not reserved. It will not allow duplicates, right? So these points are applicable for sorted set and navigable set also, right? So look at this point. It will not allow heterogeneous elements. So only you can add the homogeneous element. When I say homogeneous, I mean only you can add homogeneous. When I say homogeneous, what does it really mean? The same type. The same type, okay? And you cannot even add single null value, right? When you try to violate this rule, you will get what? Null pointer exception, right? So these are the points that you need to remember. And it allows comparable object by default. I will tell you what is this. This 9th point is very important in the interview. I will cover this. It is going to take at least 1 hour to cover this. Okay, don't worry about this point for now. It will be covered after this class, after completing this navigable set and tree set. Okay, so now we will try to understand the different methods in navigable set. Let me go back to the program. So stay focused. It is going to be very interesting, navigable set. So meanwhile, let me launch that. Okay. So my requirement is I want to add some objects by using the navigable set, right? So I want to use what? I want to use navigable set. So even whatever the set implementation that you take, whether it is a sorted set, navigable set, or whether it is a set, or whether it is an asset, okay, whether it is a linked asset, the main purpose is it will avoid duplicates. Firstly, let me go back to the program. So when you talk about the set, okay, the set is going to, the main intention of the set is to avoid duplicates. First point, very important point. Duplicates will be avoided firstly. Okay, set is avoiding duplicates, but asset has a special feature, so it is going to avoid duplicates. Linked asset has a little bit better feature. Okay? It will avoid duplicates, as well as it will follow the insertion order. Okay, and the sorted set, navigable set, and tree set. So this has what? This has a more special feature. It will avoid duplicates. It will follow sorting order. Try to understand this. Okay, so when you talk about asset, only it will avoid duplicates. So this is going to do what? This is going to help you avoiding duplicates, right? So when you want to deal with linked asset, okay, it will say I will avoid duplicates. At the same time, I will also follow insertion order. One advantage is here. If you have a requirement to avoid duplicates, and if you also want to follow insertion order, better go for linked asset. Okay, so when you want to deal with reset, avoids duplicate, but it has a special feature. What is a special feature? It will follow sorting order. The same thing applies for these interfaces also, but we need implementation classes. Right? This is a simple difference. The main set, the purpose of set is to avoid duplicates. Avoid what? Going to avoid duplicates. That's it. This is the main agenda. Apart from this main agenda, okay, this linked asset has a special feature to follow insertion order, right? And this has these three as a special feature to follow sorting order. So we are good till now. So now we will understand some methods about what navigable set. We will understand about this. We have already completed linked asset, and sorted set. We'll understand the importance of navigable set. Now you see, so let me write a program. Let me remove this. So I want to create a reference variable by using navigable set interface. I want to add some string. So the generic type is a string type. So we will deal with the countries. You know, I like countries very much. We will deal with the countries. We cannot create an object for the interface. So that's why it is giving us an error. So we need to use an implementation class. So we are using navigable set. Since it is an interface, you cannot create object for an interface. What you can do, just check is there any class that is available under the navigable set. Yes, there is a class called tree set. You will create object for the tree set. So when you're dealing with an interface, try to create object for the implementation classes. So trees. So now you will not get any error. So the reference variable is interface. The object is created for the class. Right now, let us add 5 countries. Okay, countries dot add. Let us quickly add 5 countries. I want to add our country India. Right, and I also want to add other 5 countries. So let us add China. Okay, let us add Japan. Okay, so let us also add United Kingdom. Okay, let us also add Russia. So I have successfully added 5 countries. So now you listen to me. The moment you add, so you are adding country one by one, isn't it? So countries are added one by one according to the order. So this is our actual order. So I want to add the countries in this order. So firstly, I want to add India, right? So somehow the India will get managed to get added in the navigable set, India, right? Nextly, I want to add what? I want to add a country like China, right? So at the time of adding itself, okay, at the time of adding itself, the elements get sorted internally. So this will be taken care internally. So the third country that I want to add is Japan. Okay, third country I want to add what? Japan. Okay, so Japan gets added. So it will not only get added, okay, it will try to occupy the position according to the sorting order. So J comes after I, right? So Japan will be sorted accordingly. Okay, what is the fourth country that I want to add? I want to add United Kingdom. So let me do this. Okay, let me make some. Fourth country I want to add United Kingdom. United Kingdom, right? So United Kingdom will get added. So since it is a navigable set, it has to follow the sorting order, right? This United Kingdom will try to take the position according to the sorting order. So it comes, U comes after J, right? Okay, so these are the internal things. So last country I want to be what? I want to add Russia, right? Russia, where the Russia comes actually, right? After J. Russia has to come after J. So directly, it will go inside and it will occupy its position, which is after Japan. Right. So this is the while you are adding the objects gets added and it gets sorted according to its position. So while adding elements, all the elements are getting sorted accordingly. Right now, what I want to do, guys, now I want to just print. I want to see how the objects are added. I just want to see. Okay. So even though you use navigable set, even though you use tree set here. So even though if you use navigable set, right? Even though if you use tree set, or even though if you use navigable set, or even though if you use sorted set, or even though if you use set, the output is going to be, the output is going to be same. Not set. These two. Navigable set, tree set, and sorted set. Whatever that you use in place of navigable set, if you use tree set, the output is going to be same. Okay, if you run this code, definitely the output is going to be in the form of sorted order. So China, India, Japan, Russia, United Kingdom. So I can conclude that it is following sorted order. Right now, what I want to do, I want to do some experiment here. I want to do some experiment. So what kind of experiment I would like to do? I want to add India for the second time. I want to add India for the second time. So India is added already, and I want to add India once again. So let me add India once again. So if I try to add India, after I to add a country that is already there, okay, this will not get added because India is already there. India is already there, so this India will be replaced with this India. That's it. Again, if I want to add Japan for the second time, that Japan will be replaced by the new Japan. If I want to add Russia for the second time, so in this way the duplicates are avoided. This is how the internal working of any set data type. So navigable set is also a set, so it will avoid duplicates. So navigable set is doing what? It is doing some things for us. So it is avoiding duplicates are avoided. Right? What is the second thing that is going to do for us? Okay, it is following sorting order. Sorting order is followed. Order is followed. So these are the experiment that I have done now. Now I want to do another experiment. What is another experiment I want to do with the navigable set? Let us do a experiment like I want to add something like that is not a string, but it is treated as a string. So I want to add a value that is neither a string nor a different data type. So now I want to add something like null. Right? So we get exception. So you get null pointer exception. So this has been addressed in this point. See? It will not allow even a single null value. You will get null pointer exception. So I can conclude that if I try to do an experiment by adding a null, right? If I try to do this experiment, I'm trying to add null. Null is neither the string data type or nor a different data type. Okay, if I try to add null, okay, so this will not get added. Instead, it is going to give what? Okay, while you do this, right? So it is designed in such a way that this object is unacceptable to this. You cannot do this. You cannot do what? You cannot add a null. Okay, when you add null, definitely you get what? You get null pointer exception. So when you add this, you get something like a null pointer exception. So this is not acceptable. Right? So we did some experiment. So null is not acceptable. It is never acceptable. You will get null pointer exception. It is not allowed. Not allowed. Right? So is there any other thing that we can do with this? Right? And let's say, so it will not allow heterogeneous element. Heterogeneous element means you cannot add. If you are adding something, okay, if you are adding India is of string type, isn't it? The remaining value should always be string. You cannot go and add something like integer. Right? If I want to deal with the heterogeneous data type, I need to remove this generic type. Right? So let us do a different experiment. I want to add something like 1000. Right? So my commitment is like I have started adding object. My first object is string. So the remaining object has to be what? String. Acceptable. Every object has to be of what type? String type. Acceptable. This is acceptable, isn't it? So United Kingdom is also string. Acceptable, not acceptable. So we are doing a kind of, there is a violation here. So navigable set will not tolerate this. Okay, when you are adding some objects, that object should be of same type. If it is identifying any object of different type, it's going to throw an exception called what? ClassCastException. Not acceptable. So this part is not acceptable. So this point has been addressed here. Okay, it will not allow heterogeneous element. Only homogeneous element are. Right? If you add, if you still adding, no issues, you will get exception. Right? So we are clear with what? We are clear with Java navigable set. Right? We are clear with Java navigable set. Let us understand some significant methods in the Java navigable set. Okay. So let me run this once again. So our code is clear and crystal. Right? If I run this code, we know the output is going to be in the form of sorted order, and we have did some experiments. So what is the latest experiment that we have done? So we try to add something that is not of the different type. So when you add a number, unacceptable, it will give what? what it is going to give you guys? It is going to give class cast exception. So these are the invalid things that you cannot experiment. You can experiment, but it will not work. It will strictly say, it will scold you in the form of exception. What is that exception? Class cast exception. Indirectly it is scolding us, not allowed. These things are not allowed. So these are it is designed to do these things for us, right? So when you do what? When you try to print this, when you try to use the system.out.println statement with the valued program, with the valued line, with the acceptable line. Okay. All this value gets printed according to the ascending sorting order. The cursor will be like here. Okay, the China, India, Japan, Russia, United Kingdom will be printed the console. So that's what we are trying to see, right? We are able to see this. Okay, now let us do some experiment. Okay, so I have something in the form of ascending order, but I don't like this ascending order. See, so for example, if you are joining a college, so my name is Balaji, so I am Balaji. So I have always faced this problem in my college. What is the problem that I faced is, so my roll number, my registration number will get generated in such a way that, so in the examination hall, I often gets the first position, the first seat. So when you write an exam, so my name is it starts with B, right? So if there is no person by the name of A that starts with A, so my name will be, I will be occupying the first or the second position, right? So I don't like that. So in the college environment, so they do what? They do the seating arrangements in such a way that they follow the sorting order. Okay, but if you want to follow the opposite, if you want to follow what? If you want to follow the descending order, right? So I have a method called, okay, so I want to do something like, I want to sort the elements in the descending order. Countries dot, so we have a method called descending set method is there. Okay, so when you use this method, it returns a reverse order view of elements contained in the set. Nothing special. Simply, if I run this code, all the elements will be in the descending order. United Kingdom, Russia, Japan, India, and China. If this is your requirement, you can do this. You don't like the natural sorting order, okay, let it be. You can override that by using this descending set. So what is the first method that we are learning here? Descending set. Right? This is descending set. So I don't think I should keep any explanation here. We know what is a descending set. It is a public method and it is going to return what? Navigable set. The name of the method is descending set. The first method is very clear. So let me introduce two more methods, the first poll first method and the poll last method. Okay, so let me do something here. Let me remove this. Delete. Right, so our first method is, okay, the moment you call this method, the output will start getting printed from the descending order, which is what? The cursor will start from here. So element United Kingdom, Russia, Japan, China, India and China will get printed because of this line. Okay, so I want to analyze, I want to visualize what? There is a method called poll first method. Okay, so after the elements are getting arranged in the sorted order, let me run this. Okay, so elements gets arranged in the sorted order. So after this arrangement, the first objects will be printed, which is China. So poll first is going to print what? It is going to return the first object. Okay, that is what? China. If it retrieves and removes the first lowest element or returns null, say, let me do this. Now focus here, your attention is very, very important. See, this line is printing this. Okay, so this line, poll first method, okay, it is returning you the first object. It is returning China. After doing this, and again when you try to print the countries, okay, the China is not there. So it has it has removed this, and you can catch this if you want. The first object in the sorted order will be given to you, right? And it is completely removed. It is just like this part. Let me copy this. Let us visualize this together. Okay. The moment you call poll first method, okay, the first, okay, this is the order, isn't it? This is the order. The order is sorted, right, from top to bottom. Sorted order. Okay, it will return you China. It says, hey, China. It's up to you to catch this element or not to catch this element. And again, after you're doing what? After you're doing something like, again you're printing the countries here. Again you're printing what? Again you're printing countries. Okay, now what are the countries that is there in the navigable set? We have India, Japan, Russia, and United. China is not there. It has been given to you. If I want to do something like this, I can do something like this. I can remove this. Okay, I want to catch the poll first. So string. Okay, I want to call. Okay, this it's of object type. 1 minute. It's not string type. It's of object. If I want to catch this, I can catch that. Okay, I can print the catched element. Out dot println what? Okay, when I do this, so I am saying I am using the poll first method, and the object, it will return an object, so that is getting caught in a variable called caught itself, right? So the China will be stored in a variable by the name of what? By the name of caught. This is a variable name caught, right? So it is temporarily stored inside the variable caught. After this, what I am trying to do, I am trying to print what? Caught. So when I try to print caught, obviously what is the value inside the variable caught? China is the value inside the variable caught. That will be printed, and later I want to print the remaining objects that are stored in the reference variable, which is India, Japan, Russia, and United Kingdom. So if I run this code, you will understand. See, China, India, Japan, Russia, United Kingdom. So I am printing caught. So it should be println. Right? So the value inside the caught variable will be printed China. Then it has been removed, so remaining countries will be printed. Likewise, if I do poll first, this is happening. If I do poll last, okay, the last country will be removed, which is what? United Kingdom. Okay, now China will be there. If I run this code, United Kingdom has been removed. The first time we are dealing with the China when you use poll first, and we are dealing with United Kingdom when you use poll last. Just type in the says in the chat box if you have understood till now. Come on, everyone. Come on, type. Have you understood what is poll first and what is poll last? The latest one. Yeah, good. Right. So let us rearrange this program. So this is our actual program. So let us keep the China here itself. Okay, we have understood what is poll first and what is poll last. Let us remove this. So we have understood what is happening behind the scenes. Let us remove this also. Okay, now I will introduce another method, another important method, which is what? Let me remove all these methods. Okay, so I want to introduce a method like countries dot ceiling. Okay, countries dot ceiling. So here I want to use a country like Japan. Okay, now focus here, guys. What is happening behind the scenes? So Japan is getting printed. If I use India, okay, what is getting printed? So India is getting printed. So what is happening behind the scenes? Okay, let me take this logic. This is the order that we are expecting to be printed just by printing the reference variable country. So this is the actual order. Anyhow, this order will be printed. So this order, all the elements will be printed in this order. Okay, what experiment I am doing? I am doing an experiment. I am calling a method like ceiling method. Ceiling India I am calling. Ceiling India I am calling. The name of the object is what? India I am calling. Right? So what is happening behind the scenes? Okay, from India, all the values from India will be considered. Focus here, guys. Focus here. Very, very important. It will consider all the object that is falling after India. So along with India, all the objects that is falling after India will be considered by the ceiling. Right? Then among these, which is the least one, that will be printed. India will be printed. So let us understand this with a different example. So I want to do an experiment here. Let me maximize this for your for the better observation. Okay. So I want to do a kind of experiment here. What I want to do it here, I don't want to deal with India. I want to deal with a country like something like Japan is there, Kenya. Now focus here, you will get something here. I want to deal something, a kind of country like something like Kenya. Let me run this. So we are getting Russia. I will tell you why we are getting Russia. Focus here. I am trying to find ceiling of Kenya. Okay, K. Just look at the first letter K. Okay. So Kenya, it will check if there is Kenya or not. Firstly, it is going to check, is there any object like Kenya? Do we have any object like Kenya here? We have China, we have India, we have Japan, we have Russia, and we have United Kingdom. We don't have a country like Kenya here. So what could be the placeholder for the Kenya? If you ever add a value, or if you ever add an object like Kenya, where would be its position? After Japan, right? Usually Kenya will fall after Japan according to the natural sorting order. Okay, Kenya will fall after Japan. When I say fall, Kenya will, its position would be after the country Japan, because after J we get K, isn't it? Yes or no? After J we get K. It will fall after Japan. So not here. Usually it will fall after Japan. Right, let me remove this. We are not dealing with this. Just focus in this in this list. Okay. So Kenya usually fall after Japan. I'm marking it in red color because we don't have Kenya. If you have Kenya, it is going to fall after Japan. Right? So it will consider all this. So Kenya is not there. So what is the latest? What is the value that you have after Kenya? Russia. So Russia will be printed on the console. Kenya is not. If it is, if the value Kenya is there, if you have a country like Kenya, if you have already added a country like Kenya, you will not have any issues. Obviously the output is going to be Kenya itself, because Kenya is the least value. Kenya is there, so Kenya will be given. Will be given in the console. When you don't have value like Kenya, it will try to find the placeholder of Kenya. So the placeholder of Kenya would be here, definitely. If it is there, it would be here. Since it is not there, it will consider the least sorted value, which is Russia. If I do the same experiment with a different country, guys, okay, if I want to, we have United Kingdom. Let me take a country like Brazil. We will take a country like China, Brazil, China. Any country name? Sri Lanka will take, no. We will take Zambia. Okay, we will take country like Zambia is a Z country. Turkey will take. So Turkey is not there. I want to find ceiling of Turkey. Okay, Turkey would come after Russia, right? So this could be the placeholder of Turkey. Let me copy this. Okay, Turkey would come. So we are not dealing with Kenya anymore. Now we are dealing with Turkey. It would definitely come after Russia, isn't it? After Russia, you have a country like Turkey. So this is imaginary thing because the Turkey value is not even there. So you are trying to find this ceiling of Turkey. So I am putting this in red color. Right? So this will be considered by the navigable set. And what is the latest value? United Kingdom will be printed. I mean, next to Turkey, United Kingdom, because Turkey is not there. If the Turkey is there, Turkey gets printed. If it is not there, no, the next value, the least value among the retrieved set will be printed. Right? The answer should be what? The United Kingdom. Right? Are you getting this? United Kingdom. So now you will understand it better. Okay, if I am trying to find a country like Australia. Okay, so Australia is not even there. If you ever add in Australia, the placeholder of Australia would be before China. Since Australia is not there, what is the next country that should be printed? According to this logic, the next country could be what? China. China should be printed. Because Australia is not there, isn't it? Australia is not there. Okay, so let us deal with a country like Zambia. Zambia. This is the last example. Now you will get everything. Zambia. Zambia, the letter starts with Z, right? The country is not even there in the list. Okay. If it is there, the placeholder of Zambia would be after United Kingdom. After United Kingdom, we'll get what? Zambia. You see, isn't it? Let me remove this. So if there is any country like Zambia, okay, if it is already added, this would be the placeholder of Zambia. Right? So let me remove this. If this is a placeholder of Zambia, okay, I want to find the ceiling of Zambia. Is there any countries after Zambia? No countries. Okay, if our logic is correct, we should get null. Isn't it? Don't you think so? We are supposed to get null here, guys. Don't you think so? Because no country is existed after Zambia. Power of ceiling. We will get null. Right? If it is there, no issues. Okay. If you want to find the ceiling of Russia, okay. So Russia and United Kingdom will get segregated, and the least value is Russia. Russia will be printed. If you are finding something that is not even there in the list, that is not even there in the object, so Russia gets. You are trying to find that is not even there in the object. It will try to find its position. Then the latest value next to that will get printed in the console. That is called ceiling. Right? So floor, and we have okay. Let me write this. We have a method called ceiling method. So it does so many things. Okay. In the real-time example, we will use this in different cases. You want to search for a specific country, right? Through the sorted order or ascending order. Like for example, if you are going to college, and if you want to find a person, okay, whose name is falling just before Shashwant, okay, or just before Ratna, any person. If you want to find any person, like whose the order is whose letter is starting with R. Okay, I can find the ceiling of someone whose letter starts with Q. So there would be no person whose name starts with Q. Okay, if I want to find someone whose name starts with R, I can find the ceiling of what? I can find the ceiling of something, a person. P. Paul. So find ceiling of Paul. Okay, I will get, if there is Paul, I will get, or else I will get Ratna, because Ratna is after Paul. Right? There are some cases where you will use this. Okay, when you get projects, you will understand this better. So for now, the ceiling means this is what happening behind the scenes. Okay, there is a similar method called the floor method. So we have a method called what? A method called floor method. Floor method. Right? So let us understand what this floor method is actually doing. I want to find the floor of Japan. So now focus. Now understand this with respect to floor. Ceiling done. Now we are understanding what is floor. Okay. When I try to find floor of Japan, it is giving me Japan. Okay. When I try to find floor of India, okay, it will give me India. Okay. When you try to find floor of United Kingdom, it will give United Kingdom. I will tell you what is really happening behind the scenes. Okay, it will give United Kingdom. So what is happening behind the scenes? Okay, let us keep it as Russia for the simplicity. I want to find floor of Russia. Okay, what is happening behind the scenes? Okay, let me remove this. We want to find the floor of Russia. Russia is here. Floor means it will consider all the objects just before Russia. Along with Russia, it will consider all the objects. Right? What is the last object? Russia. Russia will be printed. Right? If I want to find floor of United Kingdom, Okay, it will highlight United Kingdom. It will consider all the elements that is falling. I mean, let us take Japan. If we want to find flora of Japan, okay, it will take Japan. It will consider all the elements that is before Japan till China. Okay, the last value, not the first value, the last value. Last value is Japan itself. Japan will be printed in the console. Okay, this is not creating any confusion. Okay, but what if you want to find the flora of a country like something like, let us say, Turkey. Turkey, is there any country like Turkey? There is no such country, no Turkey here. We have China, India, Japan, Russia, and Turkey. So if the Turkey is there, where would be its placeholder? Okay, this would be the placeholder for the country Turkey. Turkey will fall here. Just for the imaginary purpose, I'm considering this. Turkey will fall here. Okay, we want to find floor of Turkey. Floor means Turkey would fall here. Consider all the countries that is falling before Turkey. Right? Turkey is not there. So what is the next country that we have lost? Russia. Russia should be printed in the console. Don't you think so? Don't you think so? If I try to, our logic, if our thinking is correct for the method floor, right? When I do this, obviously Russia will print it. Right? So I want to find floor of Iceland. Iceland is a country. Okay, so if Iceland is not in our list, not in our object list, like we have India, China, Japan. Okay, Iceland is not there. First, Iceland will try to identify its position. Okay, we have done with the Turkey now, and we are dealing with a country like Iceland here. Okay, so where would what would be the position of Iceland? In which location this Iceland will be placed after China? Iceland will be placed after China, isn't it? Because IC, according to the sorted order, this could be the location for the country Iceland. Iceland is here. Floor of Iceland. It will consider Iceland and the object that is falling before the Iceland, which is China. So China has to be printed in the console. Isn't it? Is it working? Is it really working? China. Okay. So I want to find a country like Austria. Austria is a country in Europe, not Australia. Austria. Austria is one of the countries in Europe, right? So Austria is not in our list, right? So it will get its own identification. Suppose if there is Austria, there is a country like Austria, where could be its position? Definitely, Austria starts with the letter A, right? So it will occupy the first position before China. Occupy here. Is there any countries, is there any object just before Austria? Before Austria, nothing is there. Nothing is there. Empty. Empty. Nothing is there before Austria. So definitely null has to be printed on the console. There is nothing, we should get null. If our logic is correct, definitely we are going to get what? Null. Tell me, have you got what is floor method? You have got what is ceiling method. We are good at it. Have you got what is floor method? Yes, no? Everyone type something in the chat box. Are you able to follow me? Come on, guys, come on. Right? So we are good with these 4 methods. Okay, let us understand 2 more methods. Okay, we have a method like higher method is there and lower method is there. First, we will understand what higher method. Now let us understand what is lower method. Okay, let me remove this floor and we want to understand the lower method. Okay, I want to use the lower method and I want to pass India as a parameter. Okay, when I do this, so we are getting what? China. So by just looking at the code functionality, okay, when I do Japan, okay, just by looking at the code, we can come to a conclusion. So when I try to find the lower of Japan, we are getting India. When I try to find lower of Russia, okay, we get what? We are supposed to get Japan. Okay, when I try to find lower of United Kingdom, okay, we should get what? We should get Russia. Right? When I try to find the lower of China, okay, we should get what? We should get null. Okay, so by this understanding, so whenever I use lower of something, if I use lower of Japan, let us stick with this example Japan. Japan, Japan. Okay, let us go back to this. So I want to find lower of Japan. What is happening behind the scenes? Japan is here. Okay, when you try to find lower of Japan, it will ignore Japan. It will consider these two objects just before Japan. Okay, it will ignore this and it will consider the two objects that's before Japan. So what is the highest object among these according to the sorting order? China is the lowest, India is the highest according to the sorting order. So India will be printed the console. Right? Japan has to print what? Has to print India. Right? Likewise, if I try to find lower of United Kingdom, okay, this is the United Kingdom is here. Okay, it will ignore United Kingdom and it will ensure that all this set is going to consider all this set, which is the highest among all this set. Russia is the highest among all this set. Right? Russia has to get displayed in the console. Right? When I do United Kingdom, so we are supposed to get what? We are supposed to get the country Russia. So this is how the logic is designed. Russia, right? Okay, good. And if I want to do something like China, so we are in a trouble. Okay, when you try to do China here, right? So it will not consider China. Okay, there are no elements before China. So when there is something no, when you don't visualize anything before China, obviously it is what? Null. So no values are identified before China. China will be ignored, isn't it? According to the lower method, the country China will be ignored according to the lower method. So you will get null, isn't it? Obviously, definitely you are supposed to get what? You are supposed to get null. So this is the importance of lower method. Okay. The same thing, we have another method called higher method. So let me include lower method. And what is the seventh method? We have what? We have a kind of method like higher method. So now focus on this higher method. Right? I want to find the higher method of China. Not China. Let us go with the Japan. Let us try to observe the answers. From these answers, we will try to identify what is happening behind the scenes. So Japan gives Russia. If Japan is giving Russia, so Russia should give United Kingdom, right? Russia will give United Kingdom, and United Kingdom has to give what? Is there any value or any object that is after United Kingdom? Okay, it is supposed to give what? It is supposed to give null. So null. So the functionality is very simple. Okay. Let us go with this China. I want to find the I want to use the higher method by passing the China as an object. Okay, what is exactly happening behind the scenes? Very simple. Let me remove this. I am passing the object called China. Right? So it will not consider China and it will consider all the element that is falling after China. Right? And what is the first element that it has? India. So India will be written. So India will be returned to us. Are you getting this? Right? We want to find something like, look at this. Now we focus here. We want to find something like Australia. Let us try to visualize our logic in a better way. Australia is a country that is not in the list. India is there, China is there, Japan is there, United Kingdom is there, Russia. Australia is there. Do we have Australia? We have a country like Australia. We don't have a country like Australia. Okay, if there is a country like Australia, which is the position that it would occupy? Okay, definitely this would be the position of Australia according to the sorted order. Do you agree with me? Do you agree? This would be the Australia position according to the sorted order. Yes or no? Okay. So this is not even there. Okay. It will consider all the elements that is falling after Australia. What is the first element? What is the least element? China. Don't you think that China has to get displayed in the console? If our thinking is correct, do you think that China has to get displayed in the console? China is displaying. Okay. What is higher? Higher means all the elements after the particular object, right? All the elements after the particular object will be considered and the first element will be printed. Lower means all the elements just before the object will be considered and the highest will be printed. Lower means highest object will be printed, higher means lowest object will be printed. The object that you are looking for will be. Right? Likewise, if I want to, let us do an experiment with a country like Denmark. Okay, there is a country called Denmark. Right? So I want to do. Now you first you do what? You just try to identify, is there any such country like Denmark? We don't have Denmark in the object. We have China, India, Japan, Russia, United Kingdom. So we do not have country like Denmark. Yes or no? Right? If there is a country like, if there is a such country like Denmark, it is going to occupy the position after China according to the sorted order. Okay, the Denmark is going to occupy what? Definitely it is going to occupy here after China. What we are trying to do here, we are trying to find the what? Use a method of higher method. When you use higher method, all the countries that is after Denmark will be considered. The higher method will return the lowest value among the set. Okay, this is the set that will be returned. What is the lowest value that you have here? India is the lowest value according to the sorted order, guys. Okay, India will be get printed in the console. Don't you think so? Our logic is working, you know. Are you getting this, guys? Everyone, are you with me? Yes or no? Are we clear? Yes. Okay. So that's all about navigable set. So when you get a question like what is a navigable set, you have how many points? You have 9 points to explain. Apart from these 9 points, okay, you have 7 methods to explain. You have 7 methods to explain. So let us do a recap. Okay, let us do a recap. So this is the navigable set, right? So let us understand the differences between all these three, right? So let us create some databases. You should never forget this in your life. I want to use what? I want to use set, I want to use linked set, I want to use tree set. Okay, still we are not even discussed about tree set. So this part is for what? As set, linked as set, and this is for tree set. Okay, I want to add 5 countries. What is the actual list that we have? What is the actual list? India, China. So this is the actual list. This is the order that I want to follow. Now focus here. All your doubts will be cleared here. Okay, if you want to use, so these are the list of countries. Okay, let me add directly. So we have India, we have how many countries? We have India, we have China, we have Japan, we have country like United Kingdom, and we have Russia. Right, so let me remove all this. Okay, we have this country list. Okay, I want to follow a pattern. Okay, I want to add India first. Okay, this is what? This is asset. Okay, this is linked asset, right? And this is what? Asset, linked asset, and this is tree set. Right? So if you add, let me take one more duplicate. I want to add. Okay, so when I add India to asset, India will be added, no issues. Okay, and this will be added just like this, and this will be added just like this. Now you observe the pattern. Okay, when I add the next element China in the asset, okay, China will be added. Okay, China will be added. It will not preserve the insertion order. It will be added according to the internal working of asset. Okay? And when China is getting added in the linked asset, okay, this is going to preserve the insertion order. This is going to preserve the insertion order. Okay, let me do this. Asset will not preserve the insertion order. The elements, it may get added randomly according to the asset. So this will preserve the insertion order. First China, first India, second China, right? So when the same China is getting added, right, the tree set is going to ensure that, okay, all the elements are sorted to each other. So China starts with C, India starts with I. Obviously, India will come bottom, China will come here. Okay. Now you don't have any doubts, you will get doubts here. Now I want to add Japan. Okay, Japan will be added. It will not, the order could be random. It will not follow sorted order. At the same time, it will not follow insertion order also, because generally it is following something like as said. So order will be random. You cannot guess the output. Okay, the same Japan, if you added with linked asset, okay, this linked asset will maintain the order. Okay, first you add in India, India will be in the top. Second you add China, China will be the second. Third you are adding Japan, Japan will be here. Order is maintained. The same Japan, if you are trying to add it with the 3 set, okay, now it will shuffle according to sorted order. Okay, so this could be the placeholder for Japan according to sorting order. This could be China comes, India, then after Japan. Right now, United Kingdom, we're adding with you as said. The order, it could be random order. You cannot decide the order. The same United Kingdom, right? The same United Kingdom. You want to, let me add this once again. Use asset, order is not preserved, and if you use linked asset, order is preserved, right? And if you use reset, sorting order is preserved. United Kingdom will fall here, isn't it? Somewhere here after Japan. Now focus. Now you have something like Russia. Okay, so Russia in the asset, it will not take care of order. It will not take care. Order will be preserved in the randomly. Linked asset, it will maintain insertion order. So Russia will be here. Right? Reset, it will maintain sorted order. Okay. Reset will maintain sorted order. So after Japan, Russia comes here. TIJRU. Right? Now again you are adding India. Again you are adding what? You are adding a country like India. Okay, not possible because duplicate. It will replace the existing India. Existing India will be replaced, successfully replaced. Same India if you add. Again here also it will replace existing India. Duplicates are not allowed. There will be no 2 Indias. Same India you have, it is also going to replace the existing India. Okay, what is a common thing that we have? Common things is what? Duplicates. Duplicates now. Do you agree? Duplicates are avoided for all these 3. Okay, what is the special feature that this linked asset has? What is the specialty of linked asset? Insertion order. Insertion order, right? What is the specialty of reset? Sorted order, right? So this has no specialty, only duplicates are avoided. So when you come to linked asset, insertion order is preserved. When you come to tree set, sorted order is preserved, right? The 3 common things are, you are adding trying to add India for the second time, that is not getting added. Only one India is going to be there, right? So when you add something like null, focus here. You add something when you are trying to do an experiment like null here. Okay. So null, I am marking it in red color. Don't worry about this. Okay. Do you get any issues by adding null in the asset? You will not get any issues. Okay. The position of null in the asset is always going to be in the top, first position. It will not throw any error. When you add null in the linked asset, it will follow the insertion order. So it is going to be after Russia. It is following insertion order. But when you add null in the tree set, no, you cannot add null in the tree set. Okay, it is unacceptable. You cannot add. Okay, so what if you try to add the heterogeneous element? I want to add something like 1000. Okay, so heterogeneous elements are accepted in the asset. Okay, successfully will be added. Will also be accepted in the linked asset. No issues. So will follow the insertion order. The sorted set or in the tree set, it is not accepted because only homogeneous elements are accepted. So by this, have you got something about what is asset, what is linked asset, and what is tree set? Okay, so if you want me to explain, see, if I take reset here, let me remove this. If I'm trying to print this, okay, output is sorted. Okay, instead of reset, if I use linked asset, okay, here also I want to use linked asset, and here also I want to use linked asset. Okay, this should be what? This should be of string type. Okay, this following insertion order: India, China, Japan, United Kingdom, Russia. If I use asset instead of linked asset, if I use asset, it will not follow insertion order. At the same time, it will not follow sorting order also. Output will be in the random order. You cannot guess that because central is using asset. right? Likewise, okay, if I try to add null here, null. Okay, so asset is going to accept null, no issues. It has no issues. Null will be in the first position. I just explained. Null will be in the top position always, right? So when I use linked asset, even linked asset is going to accept the value null. Okay, so it's following insertion order. So null is coming here because we are adding null here. So if you add null, if you are adding null here, okay, it will also follow the insertion order because the purpose of linked asset is to follow the insertion order. The way you inserted, the way the values will be getting displayed in the console. Null will be here, right? So when you do the same experiment, when you want to add the null with the tree set will get angry because tree set is written in such a way that it will not accept the null values. See, it is giving an exception, right? Likewise, reset is also designed not to accept the heterogeneous element, right? Exception. Okay, heterogeneous element are allowed with linked asset, linked asset, linked asset. See, no issues. You have a string type, you are also in this type. Heterogeneous element are also accepted in asset. See, no issues. So I have given justification for all this with a small diagram, right? So do you have any questions for me? Are we good with the navigable set and the remaining concepts which I have just explained? Or facing any issues, or do you have any doubts? You can please feel free to ask.